So pensions, one of the biggest battlegrounds of the upcoming election, but there's still such a confusing topic.
A few weeks ago, Martin Lewis talked about pensions with us in the studio, but we barely scratched the surface, so he's back with us now. Morning, Martin.
Good morning.
So tell us, what are the benefits of a pension?
Well, a pension isn't a product. That's the first thing you have to understand. A pension is a tax wrapper. It enables you to put money away to save for retirement from your pre-tax income. So this is crucial. So if you put £100 in your pension, because it's from pre-tax income, if you're a basic 20% rate taxpayer, it only costs you 80 quid in your pay packet. So there's an extra £20 added on top. So you get £100, it costs you 80 quid. If you're a higher 40% rate taxpayer, it only costs you £60 in your pay packet. So you get £100 saved for retirement, but the cost to you, you're only losing 60 quid from your pay packet because it would have been taxed and you would have lost that in the tax. That is the big pensions benefit. Now, if you do it via your workplace, that happens automatically, so you don't see it. If you're self-employed, when you put money in a pension, the 20% automatically gets added on what you've put in your pension, and then you can claim back the rest through self-assessment, and self-employed people do a self-assessment tax to get the extra benefit. Now, that doesn't actually go into your pension. You can have that money, and you could choose to put more in your pension, or you could choose to have it go that way. So the really big thing, a pension, in a nutshell, is a savings account for old age, but you do it from your pre-tax salary, so you get more in and lose less. That's what a pension is. When you do that, you can then choose to invest it in lots of different types of things, but a pension is just a wrapper that protects you from that tax.
Is everybody always auto-enrolled, though? OK, not everybody is auto-enrolled. You have to be between the age of 22 and 66 and earn over £10,000. But auto-enrolment is crucial. So this is what happens. When you are in a workplace, you're an employee. If you earn over 10 grand, you're in that right age, you're automatically going to be saving towards your pension. And the rules state that on an 8% contribution, so if 8% of your salary is going in, you pay at least a maximum of 5% and your employer pays a minimum of 3%. So let's take it on the minimum. Some employers are more generous. Let's just go back to our 100 quid. On our 100 quid, you put 100 quid in, so that if that's the 5%, your employer would have to add 60 quid on top. So you put 100 quid in, 60 quid on top. But remember, as a basic rate taxpayer, it's only costing you £80 because of the tax relief. Right. So you're losing £80 from your pay packet. You're getting £160 added into your pension, double the money. There's no other savings like that. And if you're a high rate taxpayer, you're paying £60 and getting £160 put into your pay packet. So absolutely the start place for everyone. If you're an employee, try and max out your pension so that the company is giving you the maximum contributions it will put in. Otherwise, you're giving up a pay rise, effectively. It's a bit like saying, should I opt out? Well, only if you want to give away a pay rise. Yes, you'll have less disposable income, but you'll have more money going in. And on this, you asked about everybody. Yeah. So, if you're aged between, I just want to check it's 16. If you're aged between 16 and 74, so remember, it only starts at 22, so that's 16 to 22, and it stops at 66, so that's 66 to 74. So if you're older or younger, or you earn between £6.5 grand and £10,000, you won't automatically be saving in your pension, but you can ask your employer, put me in the pension scheme.
Opt in.
And if you do opt in, it has to do those extra contributions. It has to add the money for you. So I'd strongly recommend anyone who is 16 to 22, or 66 to 74, or in between but earning over £6.5 grand and less than 10 grand, if you can afford it, ask your employer to opt you in, and it has to be very clear. They can't refuse. They can't refuse. They have to give you more money. They have to give you more money. That's the simplest way to phrase it, if you can afford to do so.
So you can't get at it until you're 55.
Correct.
How does the money then work? Do you withdraw it like a bank? How does it...
Swiss roll time.
Oh, what?
OK. Time for the Swiss roll.
Time for the Swiss roll. So...
This is two that you prepared earlier.
Here's two I prepared earlier. I cut them with my own fair hands, that's a lie. Right, look. Since they introduced what's called pension freedom, you have been able to have your pension like a bank account. You save your money in a pension pot, and you've got the money sitting in there. And then it acts a bit like a bank account. Now, the thing most people know about taking money out of your pensions, most people can take 25% of it tax-free,
and the rest is taxed. So let's see the jam in my Swiss roll, if I hold that up to the camera. The jam in my Swiss roll, that's your luxury, your tax-free amount.
Right.
And the sponge is the taxed amount in the savings. Now, if you just withdraw it from, like a bank account, from your pension, what happens is you're taking a slice of Swiss roll. You can't just take the 25%. You take out money, 25% of it is tax-free and the rest is taxable. So that's if you just take it out. So you take 10 grand out, £2,500 tax-free, £7,500 is taxable. The alternative, this is actually a Swiss roll they prepared for me with no jam in.
No jam. Ooh.
Oh.
And here's the jam. Right. The alternative...
So that's the taxed amount and that's the tax-free.
That's tax, that's tax-free, is you can take 25% tax-free out. You can take just some jam out. There we go. Don't know why I'm bothering to do that, but hey,
I thought you were going to have a
this
mouthful.
morning. I have to have a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit tax-free out, as long as you put the rest in a drawdown investment or an annuity. An annuity is a payment each year for the rest of your life. A drawdown is just another form of investment. That way, you could take 25% last tax-free, and you could leave the rest in your drawdown or in your annuity for later. So why would you do this, is the key question. So let's say you're still working when you take this and you're a 20% taxpayer. Well, and you've taken your £10,000 out, £7,500 of it, the sponge, is going to be taxed at 20%. Alternatively, you could just take the 25% tax-free. You could leave the rest invested until you stop work and you're no longer a taxpayer.
And you're in a lower bracket.
And you're in a lower bracket, and then you take this money out, and now, even though it's taxable, because you're not a taxpayer, it's tax-free for you. Brilliant. The same is true if you're in a 40% or 20%. So, look, if you've not understand this, I'm going to make the most important point I make about pensions. It's different to other types of money. There is the pension-wise or money helpers online, which are funded by a levy on financial services firm. They will give you free one-on-one guidance. Taking your money out of the pension is one of the biggest mistakes you can make if you get it wrong. It can cost you tens of thousands of pounds that you can't get back. And you can get free one-on-one help with it. So this is just like to whet your appetite, if you like, with the Swiss roll. Please go and speak to PensionWise. It's one-on-one. Make an appointment. Call. You can get an appointment an hour long. They will go through it with you and get it right.
Brilliant.
Because get this wrong, it'll cost you tens of thousands of pounds.
Timing
Your
is
pension
key.
specialist still available on ITVX as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's lots of stuff in there.
That was about punching up your national insurance. You've got 1 year to pay, 13 years of missing years of going.
One of my friends missed 3 or 4 years while he was in Australia. He said about £2,500.
So if by £2,500 worth of years conservative, that's about £1,000 a year he'll increase his pension. If he lives 20 years, that £2,500 will have gained him £20,000 tax-free. I've had some people 60, 70 grand. It's on ITVX. It's an urgent deadline. It was my summer special last week. It's quite complicated, so I couldn't do it on here because it needs a long time to explain.
Go and watch it.
Please go and watch that.
Martin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Life is easier to understand with Swiss roll. Simple as that.